Hi, my name is Terri Sproul and I want to welcome you to my studio. This is normally my Tuesday night show, but guess what? I'm at CHA. Having way too much fun. But I am missing you guys, so I decided I was going to make you a video instead of a live show. And it's actually working out really well because I've been wanting for quite a while to do a video using pouring medium by Liquitex. And the only problem I've been having is it really takes a while to dry. So this video is going to work out perfect. So come on down to my desk and let's start playing. And remember to come back next Tuesday, the 21st of January, because I'm going to do a sneak peek of everything I've seen at CHA. See you in a second. Okay, we're down here at my desk and I have a brand new journal in front of me, believe it or not. Not because I completely finished my last one, but I really needed a page to sit flat. And my other journal, as you guys know that I've been working with you on Tuesday night, it's starting to look like this, and there's no way I could get something to sit flat in this. So that's why I'm using a new journal. Prior to you guys getting here, I did tape my seam and I did gesso my page, as always. Okay, first thing I need to do, get some color on the background. I'm going to use the Distress Paints. So I'm going to grab my squirt bottle here, get some little bit of water on that background, and get some color going. So I need to get some more of these. This is feeling like it's getting less paint in it. And this is, I think it's broken china. Yes, this one's broken china. And let me check what this one is here in a second. But the blue was broken china. I like this combination. It really is pretty. And I do normally put 3 different colors in the background, but I'm not going to for, because you'll see there'll be a lot of layering on top of this, so it's really not going to matter much. Okay, what was that green? I was going to check that for you. The green is peeling paint. Just getting more water onto it, getting it moving. And I really did want a pretty pale. And this paintbrush that is picked up was also wet. So I'm getting a lot of water on this background and getting the colors mixed together and blending. And as you've seen, because I didn't want it to muddy, I did the blue and the green separate when I painted, when I, blended them out. If I would have just went right into it, it would have kind of muddied somewhat. But I do want it to blend a little, so I'm going to do the smash. Open, liking that, but it's still just a little too much for me, so I think I'm going to take some color off. Grab a baby wipe. Now you got to be careful because these will come off almost completely, so I'm very lightly tapping. Because if I started just rubbing, literally there'd be no paint left on the page, and that's not my goal. I still want paint, I just didn't want it as intense. So that was more my idea. And I am allowing my greens to go over into the blues and my blues to go over into the greens. So it is becoming one color. Okay, that's a good start. Nice good background there. Quickly give it a dry so I can go on. Okay, now I want to play with the pouring medium. This is by Liquitex, and it's a really cool product. And you can have a lot of fun with it. So first thing I'm going to do is actually make a little mixture for myself. So I'm finding myself a clean spot. Well, kind of. Probably should have cleaned my desk a little better than I did. So, and I'm going to grab some pouring medium. I'm going to put that out. Make my little self a little palette there. And I'm going to add some colors to it. And I want to use stuff, and I've talked to you guys about this in the past. Remember that when you buy paints, and Goldens are really good about this, I want paints that are very very transparent. So I want to look for paints that are all the way over on the transparent side. So I'm going to put a drop of this Nickelodeon yellow and a drop of interference blue, because I'm kind of staying with the colors I've got going in the background right now. So I put a drop of each of those into that mixture of pouring medium, and now I'm going to paint that onto my background here. So I'm mixing it together here, and I'm just going to real quickly put that on. Oh, I really like that color. Looks really good with the blue behind it. Now this is going to actually take a little while to dry, this step. Well, not quite this step, but you'll see. This pouring medium takes a while to dry. That's my point. And that's why it's going to work out really well, because I want to do a couple techniques. Here I'm just using it as putting directly on. I'm putting it on in a really light coat, nothing too special right now. So I just kind of use the pouring medium as almost a paint at this point. Stay down. Okay, now it can work almost as an adhesive. So I pulled out some stuff in my arsenal that is translucent. I have some of this tissue paper from Hotlz. I have a vellum quote. I have this really cool, and I really kind of wanted to use this. I think it would be really pretty in the background. This is a, it's actually for scrapbooking, and it's kind of a transparency. And I thought that might work really cool. I'm going to fold it in half, but I'm folding it in half because I need to get it into that crease. And it's really kind of hard to fold in half because it's quite thick. Damn. Okay. Open that up. I'm going to put that in the crease, and I'm going to lay that down. And it's actually got a quote going through it also, which I thought was kind of cool. Okay. Now I'm going to grab a card, a credit card here real quick. Or a room key card. Who knows what it really is. I think it's a room key card. And I'm just going to force it down. Make sure there's no air bubbles behind it or anything. Because this, like I said, this was quite thick. And so far, I am loving this page. Okay, I'm liking that. See that? Isn't that cool? Now, I'm not kind of liking the edges, so let me see what else I have over here. Wait. Let's see what I can do with this. This is Tim's wax paper. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll go down the edge. So I'm ripping it in a long strip here. And I think I'm going to do that. Set for, I need more pouring medium. So I'm going to just quickly throw some more pouring medium down there because this is actually starting to dry too much for me. Throw the pouring medium directly on. I didn't put the color or anything in it this time. I'm actually just using it straight out of the package because you're not going to see the color anyways. Well, actually, I guess you would on top, so. But the paper's translucent, so you see how as soon as I'm putting this over top, the color is, there's still a little color on my brush anyways. The color is absorbing into it. Oh, I likey that. Okay, got to do that over here. And not because I'm necessarily anal all the time, but I can be. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Look at how cool that is. Oh, love, 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 love. Just absolutely in love. And I will trim all this off when we're done, you know, closer to being done. So it's not going to stay with that. I love this so far. I'm really, really happy with that. Okay. I want to, I don't think I'm going to add that quote in yet. At this point, I actually want to do another layer of pouring medium over this, and I'm going to do some engraving or indenting into it and using some glazes. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to use this heart-shaped cookie cutter or clay. It could also be a clay. I actually use it for my clay, so that's why I'm saying to be clay. I'm going to grab a palette knife. I'm going to grab some more pouring medium. This time, actually, I'm going to put it directly onto because I want this layer to be a little thick. And this one, I do want to make sure that my book stays somewhat flat. And the reason for that is pouring medium will find its own level. And I do want this on thick. So what I am going to do here in about, as soon as I'm done putting this on, is I'm actually going to stop the video and come back in about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how warm my room is, because I don't want this to dry completely, but I want it to be drier than it is. So depending on your area, anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, I'm going to come back and do some really cool effects in this pouring medium. So again, I'm putting it on really thick, and I'll see you guys back in 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, I did let this dry. It's not completely dry because you can still see some white in there, but it's getting really close. And I did change my mind while I was off camera. I found I have a butterfly cookie cutter, and I have a couple flowers, a couple different sizes. So I think I'm going to use those. So I'm going to take the butterfly cookie cutter and I'm going to put it into this molding, pouring medium, excuse me. And it takes the impression, because it started to harden up at this point, and you might not see too much of it. So don't trip out if you don't see, because it is clear. But the next step we do, hopefully we'll be able to see what I was trying to achieve. That's the point. So I am just pressing these images into the pouring medium. Okay. And I want to rip this away, but I don't want to wait till it's more dry, I think. Yeah, I'm going to wait for that to be a little more, everything to be a little more dry, then I'm going to rip that off. Okay, now at this point I want to put a glaze over it. So and I've taught you guys about this in the past. I happen to have glaze from Golden. It's pre-made, already done for me. But if you don't, you can take Or say I don't have the right color, because I only have 4 of these glazes from Golden. You can take a glazing medium. All kinds of different companies make this. This one is actually from Americana. Yes, Americana. It's a glazing medium. You mix 50% this with any acrylic paint and you have a glaze. So you can make your own glaze, excuse me. But I'm going to be using the Golden's glaze. So I'm going to quickly shake it up and grab my paintbrush. Just rinse my paintbrush real quick because I think it's still got some paint on it. A glazing medium, actually. Who knows what it has on it. Clean it off real quickly, and I'm going to actually put some glaze directly on this. So I'm just putting some glaze onto my Teflon sheet in front of me, picking up my paintbrush and going directly onto this page. And don't trip out. I know it looks almost like I'm ruining it at this point, but it's not. Because I'm going to take most of this off. And what it's doing is it's getting into those images that I imprinted into the page earlier. And as I see, not all of them did. So that means that I let my pouring medium get too dry. So next time I do this, I need to remember to put my images in when they're a little less dry, in a little more of a wet state. But I do see that some of them did take, so I'm happy enough with it to, you know, not stress about it. Now it does say to give it, you know, 1-2 minutes to set up, and then you take off with either a paper towel or you can take off with a baby wipe, depending on how much you want to take off. So I'm going to start with a paper towel. And just start taking some of that. And it did get down into, I know it's hard to see because this page is really shiny. That's also what the pouring medium does. But you can see the images that I carved into it. And I will show you that here just a little better in just a second. Hopefully. Okay, I need another tissue. Okay, look at this. Let's see if I can get the glare off of it. You see right there is a really good one. Not really. You can actually see the flower embedded in there. Not showing very well as much as I'd like it to, but you're just going to have to trust me that it's there. I'm going to dry a little bit more. Okay, I want to come in, and the pages are sticking together here, and get some of this extra off here. And I'm just going to rip it. And I'll deal with that little boo-boo right there. I'll figure it out somehow. See, I should have let that dry a little more and I probably wouldn't have got that boo-boo. But that's okay. Boo-boos are meant to be happy mistakes, right? Happy accidents. So, I'm not going to stress much on it. Okay, really liking this page. But I think I want a little more layering. I kind of really like this quote. And since my butterfly didn't work out as well as I wanted it to up here, I'm going to use this quote. It says, "Excellence is not a skill, it's an attitude." Great quote, huh? Thought it'd be a great quote for the new year. And I do want a very ripped look, so I am ripping around the quote. And this is a vellum quote. And it's a quote I've had for probably forever. I have a lot of stuff in my arsenal from scrapbooking days. So this was probably from scrapbooking days. I'm going to put that down with the pouring medium again. So I'm throwing some pouring medium down. I like that interference blue, so I'm going to put another drop of that into it. And there happens to be some blue distressed paint on right where I put the pouring medium. I don't know if it's going to pick it up or not. It might, because it was dry, but you know that distressed inks, without them being a what's the word I'm looking for, without them being heat set, they are still wet. So I'm using that, and I'm putting the pouring medium directly over top, because this kind of gives you a really cool acoustic look. I did do a project about a week ago. It was right before I left for CHA. That's on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Terri Sproul. And I used the pouring medium in a totally different project to give you another way of using it. Okay, really like the quote up there, like that a lot. I also have these little guys, because you can just keep layering and layering on top. So I think I might use one of these. I think I like this one. So I'm cutting out this image. And again, this is a image on a transparency. And it's something that I've had in my arsenal for a long time, and I'm just off to the side cutting it out here, so you're not missing anything, I promise. I'm just cutting. I think I'm going to put that in right there. I'm going to use the pouring medium again. So I'm almost using it as an adhesive, which is kind of fun. Well, not kind of, I am using it as an adhesive. Because I want to keep this glossy shine that's going on. And this page is going to take a really long time to dry. So be patient. Do not close this book for seriously 3 or 4 days. Or put a Teflon sheet in between if you are going to close it. Okay, really liking that. My vellum up here did really kind of wrinkle, so I think I'm going to play with that. And what I mean by that is I'm going to use the glazing medium again and work off those wrinkles. So let's dry. Really need to do something about that white piece. It's really bothering me. So some pouring medium down there, tiny bit of the nickel ISO yellow. Mix those together. Get that yellow color I had going in the background. Oh, this one's a lot brighter yellow than the last one, but that's okay. So I'm going completely over that quote now because I got to go with that yellow that's coming out. It was a lot more yellow than I wanted it, but that's okay. I like it anyways. Okay, that works. So again, back to, you know what I could probably do at this point? Ooh, 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 ooh. idea. Pouring medium again. Let's get it on kind of thick right here and see if it'll take that butterfly. You know, it's not going to because of the vellum over there. Never mind. It was a good thought, just ain't gonna work. Okay, dry again. Just noticed that this spot right here kind of lost the pouring medium over it, peeled off somehow. So I'm just adding it back in. No big deal. Remember, there are no mistakes in art journaling. That's the best part about art journaling. Really, really liking this page. Depth is really cool. You can see all the layers, all the way back to the original layer that I put on. And I think I happen to have some washi tape on my desk. I think I'm going to put some washi tape over here. And I know this is really glossy on the page, on the video, and I'm sorry about that. But I will take a really good photo so that you really see how this page turned out. And I'm just grabbing some of that, again, the medium, the pouring medium, and the mixture that I have with the paints in it, and just putting it over that again so it blends in. There we go. And I like that, so I'm going to have to do it over here somewhere. I think I'm going to do it right around him. Alright, oh. Right there. And again, I need to have that same color because see how it's really standing out, and I really want it to become part of the background color. So I'm grabbing some pouring medium, the tiniest drop of this yellow because it's really strong. There we go. That was a tiny drop. You should have seen how small I got that drop. And the interference blue. That one I wasn't so stressed because it's very translucent and it doesn't have, it's not so strong of a color. Adding that over, again, to make the color become one. So the whole page really looks like it belongs. Okay, I'm going to flip this to me just a little bit so I can see where I am and see if I need anything else. Because I'm really liking it. I can even see the original quote that's going through the page. And once this dries even more, it won't be so cloudy, so it's even going to be better. I think I'm done. I really like this page. So let me come over here. Let me zoom in as much as I possibly can and see if I can get you guys a really good look at this page. Okay, that's not a bad zoom. And I got a lot of the light off of it. See the... Now again, it's going to stay shiny like that because it is meant to have that glossy look. But you see where it's like really milky right there? It'll lose that milkiness and become more clear. And you can see every layer that I put in. See how the man, you can see the layer behind it, you can see the washi tape, you can see that transparency I put on. You can come up here and see the quote Oh, you know what I did want to do though? You guys just reminded me. I wanted to go back over that quote with the glaze again, because I think, here's my thought, I think it's going to grab all those wrinkles. I think it's going to look really cool. So, let's see if it does. I'm grabbing a clean paintbrush, glazing medium. And again, I'm getting into those grooves. I want it to show the grooves and the cracks and all that. And I'm not stressing that I'm getting a lot of color on here, because remember, this all comes off. Just getting it in there. And I'm not worrying about it matching on the other page, because I'm going to take the baby wipe and just bring it over here so it will gather onto this page also. So I will get the color on both pages, so it will look as one. And again, see how scary that looks? It almost looks like I ruined my page at that point. Don't stress. Don't stress, really. You know, let it sit on there for a few minutes. This is glazing medium. Remember, glazing medium, what glaze does, it does two things. It thins out the paint, and it gives it a longer, what they call an open time, which basically in artist terms means it's a longer time for it to dry. That's why I'm not worrying about the fact that it's all wet here. So don't stress on that. And why can't you just use water? The reason you don't want to use water and you use a medium is because acrylic paints have like little bubbles in them of paint. And the way they adhere to a page is they have to be next to each other, the little bubbles of paint. If you water the paint down, these bubbles get further and further away from each other, and they don't have anything to adhere to. So you need to have a medium over water. Now, I'm not saying you can't use some water in your paints. Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can water your paints down. Just don't water them down to the point where you are losing the oh, turned out just like I thought it would. Losing the consistency of the paint. So I never water my paints down, say no more than about 20%, which isn't a lot. That's why I would rather get a medium and throw a medium in there. Okay, I am thrilled of how the glaze went into all those cracks on the quote. It is exactly what I wanted it to do. Very, very, very happy with the way that looks. Very happy with the way that looks. Okay, this is where I'm going to end. Again, thanks for joining me here on my Tuesday night show, even though I'm not here tonight. I'm at CHA, remembering all of you. But come back next Tuesday, the 21st of January, and I will be doing my regular show live, and I will be showing you everything that I got to see while I was at CHA. So see you then. Bye.